Hi, and welcome back to Confidently Fluent. I'm Teacher Mary, and if you're new here, welcome. In our first episode of this series, we covered the first part of a strong work update, the status. We looked at 6 strong phrases to reach for whenever you want to open up your update. However, today we're moving into progress. This is very important because this is your time to tell the room what you've actually been working on. A week update would often sound like you're reading something off a list. For example, I did some work on the project. I tried to fix a few things. We had some problems, but I think it's okay now. Okay, you leave that meeting having more questions than answers. It's really vague and there's no cohesion, no connection, no flow. That's exactly what we're going to fix in today's lesson. Let me show you what a confident update looks like. Since our last update, I've completed the first phase, which means we can begin testing. Let's break this down. We start our status with an opener. For example, since our last update. We move then into action. This is what you've actually accomplished. This bridges into the result with a strong connector. And then finally we show, because of all of this stuff that I've just accomplished, we can now do this, not just reading some random stuff off a list. So let's get into it. Now, openers are important because it signals to the room that your update is about to begin. It really catches everybody's attention instead of starting your update mid-air. Here's a list of some strong openers, but it's important to find the right opener for your situation. These openers vary, right? We have some formal ones, we have some casual professional ones. If you work in a casual professional environment, like an IT company, for example, you would most likely reach for something like, since our last update, or from my side, or a quick one from me. So know your environment and adjust your openers and this framework to your environment. That being said, let's take a look at some strong openers to use. I'm going to quickly take you through them. Number 1, since our last update. This is great for progress tracking over time. Number 2, to bring everyone up to speed. This is great if everybody is not on the same page, to just quickly inform everybody. Number 3, in terms of progress, a bit more formal, but a really strong one. Number 4, as it stands. As it stands. This is a quick snapshot or overview of where things are right now. Number 5, from my side or from our side if you're talking on behalf of the team. Great way to start, very natural, very neutral, especially for stand-ups or quick meetings. The same with the next one, a quick one for me, slightly more informal, but also very, very common for stand-ups. Regarding the project or the issue, jumps right into it. So not a lot of fluff around this one, and the same with the next one briefly, and then jumping into it also signals that I don't have a lot, but this is the picture I can leave with you right now. Really strong ones, and that's why I say, like, you need to understand which one works best for your environment. The next stage to this update is action. Action is all about using the right tense and the right verbs. Let me explain what I mean. Typically, when we give updates, we are looking back to the last time we spoke up until now. So it started in the past with relevance right now. This is what I've accomplished. This is what I've done. So we reach for present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense if it's still ongoing. Very seldom do we focus on the past simple unless the context needs it, right? I highly recommend getting really comfortable with these tenses. There's some great content from English with Lucy or English with Emma. I would recommend starting there. Apart from a strong tense or the correct tense for the moment, you need a strong verb. For example, I've looped in the design team. I've completed the negotiations. I've delivered it to HR. I've wrapped everything up. I've pulled it together. The right tense, some strong verbs. Whatever follows, of course, is what you've been doing, right? I cannot really help you there. This is where you need to fill in the blank. At the end, we'll look at some strong examples. For now, let's transition to the next phase. This is the part that a lot of people skip. Connectors. Connectors is like the bridge between the action that you've done and the result. Now, once again, the result is where you come in, but what I can do is show you some examples. So let's go through a list of some strong connectors and results. Number 1, as a result. This shows clear outcome. For example, we've resolved the issue. As a result, the system is now stable. Number 2, because of. This is natural cause effect. We finalized the specs. Because of this, development can move forward. Number 3, at this point. This signals current stage. At this point, we're ready to move into testing. Number 4, which means that, which is optional. We could say this is very natural in spoken updates, and we've secured approval, which means we can proceed. Number 5, which puts us in a position to. This is forward-looking and strategic. We've aligned on scope, which puts us in a position to scale. Number 6, that's now and then the result. For example, this is great for progress framing. That's now complete, so we can shift focus. Number 7, which is a big step forward. This is very vague, right? It adds evaluation and emphasis without giving really specific detail. For example, we've onboarded the client, which is a big step forward. 8, so that we can. This is purpose-driven. We've simplified the process so that we can reduce delays. That's it. That's the structure. That's the whole framework. So let's take a look at some examples. The first example is an update from a manager. It would sound like this. Since our last update, I've aligned with the leadership team, which means that we now have clear direction for the next quarter. The opener that was used here was since our last update. The action, I've aligned with the leadership team on priorities, which means we now have clear direction for the next quarter. Let's take a look at another one. This is an example from a team lead. In terms of progress, I've relocated resources across the team so that we can deliver the key milestone on time. Next up, we have a developer update. It could sound something like this. Since our last update, I've resolved the main integration issues. As a result, the system is now stable for testing. And lastly, a marketing specialist update. In terms of campaign performance, we've optimized the targeting strategy, which resulted in a noticeable increase in engagement and conversions. I'm placing this framework on the screen once again to show you that today we covered the progress part of an update. We looked at starting the update with a strong opener, the right action verb to show that you've been actively working on something, the connector that shows that because of what you've done, you now have the last part, the result. That's it. Follow this framework and adjust it based on the culture and the environment in your company. Part 2 wrapped up. Come back for part 3 where we'll talk about blockers. As I mentioned, sometimes things go wrong and how to talk about that without sounding like an alarmist. That's it from my side. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.